I'm gonna make a little short video all about Buttons the Tadpole and how he came to be. This is Buttons' little home away from home. He came to me from, I told this story in another video, but basically I work at a pet shop and we get goldfish in for feeders, and there was occasionally we get tadpoles in, and usually we just kind of let them go to whoever wants them. For some reason, everybody I work with fell in love with Buttons because he's a huge bullfrog tadpole, and they know that I take care of fish and I have little fish tanks, and I guess they convinced me to take him home for myself. So at first I went ahead and put him in the little medical tank here, which is just a 1.5 gallon. It used to be the old shrimp tank, as many of you know. And of course, he's really too big for the shrimp tank. So I went to Wally World, aka Walmart, and I picked up this tote for about $2. And then I cut a hole in it here. And this is that, it's like a crafting mesh, it's plastic. And I just kind of cut a slit there. That's where the bubbler was going to go in. I never actually put it in correctly. And I don't want to cut it all the way through. I'm afraid it'll mess with the locking mechanisms. And I don't want this guy to get out. So, let's pop the lid off here. Oops. Get it caught on everything. This little bamboo plant just to help here. This is Buttons' little tank here. It's got some leftover Java moss from my other tank, a fake plant just for no reason, a little heater, and this little sponge filter that I kind of rigged up for him. Which is basically, this is the sponge, it came in a 2-pack of the sponge I keep in my 10 gallon over the intake to keep the shrimp and stuff from being sucked in. There's a little bit of carbon in there, and it's just a little air pump, our little air stone, and I've got rubber bands around it to hold it all together. And I mean, it seems to be working. As you can see, it's collecting gunk and whatnot on it. I just rinse it out when I do the water change. Alright, let's see if we can find Buttons. I went to Walmart and I specifically bought this pot here for my bristlenose Pleco in the 10 gallon, and I cut it in half very well using a hacksaw and a screwdriver, and I gave the other half to Buttons here. So he's not under there. We're gonna find him. He's probably under the leaf. No? Buttons? Where are you? I just saw you. You were swimming around like crazy. Buttons? Oh, there he is. Now, I'm worried. Oh, there he goes. Because I've never taken care of a tadpole before, and I can't tell if he looks good or not. He was super active, swimming around like crazy. I overfeed him because I don't ever see him eating, but he has to be eating, obviously, because he's still alive, and I've had him for well over a week. So, this is little Buttons the tadpole. And he looks like he's getting skinnier, but I don't know what else to feed this guy. I definitely do feed him a lot, like I said, because I don't see him eating ever, so I just do water changes every 3 days. There it goes. And I'm trying to, like, this is an almond leaf in there to try to help him relax. Got this in here just for natural properties. Now, what I've been feeding him is, let's see, occasionally I do give him some of these. And then I went ahead and bought this for him, because everything I read, there's not a whole lot of information online about tadpoles. Just your basic, throw them in a pot. I guess people watch them grow into frogs and that's about it, but not much about tadpole actual care. So, got a new camera coming in later on this week. I'm getting a GoPro 6, so I'll update a lot of my videos. If anybody has any basic care for tadpoles, feel free to share. I've been researching like I do all my animals. I never bring anything home 100% underwear. I will admit I was a little unprepared for him because of the simple fact that when I agreed to it, I thought, you know, hey, that's cool. I'll bring a little tadpole home for a couple weeks. He turns into a frog. I let him go and you're done. But it turns out bullfrogs can take up to 14 months to turn into a frog. I wasn't quite ready for that kind of commitment, but I mean, he's okay here. If he takes a long time, he takes a long time. I just want him to live, and he's definitely looking a little skinnier. So we're just taking each day at a time, seeing what we can do, feeding him whatever I can. Maybe I'll try some pellets or something later. There are weird little creatures, but that is Buttons the tadpole. Let's see if I can give him some proteins. I've been feeding him some shrimp pellets and stuff too, but I can't tell if he's actually even eating those or if they're just getting lost in the gravel. Hence again why I do so many water changes. Just overdoing his tank with some food. I mean, eventually he'll eat, right? Right? I'll see him eat? I don't know. Oh, that's my little video on Buttons. And we'll just cross our fingers and hopefully he makes it. We'll see. I don't know. He's already lasted a lot longer than I thought he'd last.